MoneyBoy. Trade. MoneyBoy. Trade. Private jet flights overseas. Damn piece.
Peace to the family. And today's stream is called Biden will cause a financial disaster for black people. Black is a very touch and go word. Biden will cause a financial disaster for black people. Let's talk about it. Let's get to it. And I know a lot of you that did vote look at Trump in such disdain that it suffices to pick the lesser of the two evils, as many of you will look at it, and you voted for Biden. But this is what I mean by negotiating against yourself. We have to stop negotiating against ourselves. Biden will cause financial disaster for our people. This is the best time for you brothers and sisters to take heed to the 2021 survival plan that I taught you, that I gave you. That course is still available. It's a survival plan to get through this year, meaning how to make money, evade the vaccines, all of that. We have to be extremely cautious. We have to exercise a great deal of caution during this time. Let me give you an example. So his claim to fame is something that speaks to the narrative of the less fortunate or poor people, lower income community people. He says he's going to tax the wealthy. He said he's going to tax the rich man. He's going to tax the rich woman. Let me ask you guys a question. On average, the rich man and a rich woman most likely are hiring the poor man and the poor woman, or the not so well off but not so poor. Right or wrong? And so there's something that rich people are at liberty to do that poor people aren't. Because poor people have less options. Rich people have a lot more options than poor people. So take, for instance, if you're wealthy and you employ other people and they rain down taxes on you, you could just make things more difficult for the people that you employ. I hope this makes sense. Let's do this. Biden said he's going to raise minimum wage. He said he's going to raise minimum wage. Think about that. So if you raise minimum wage, you think that's all that's going to happen? No. If you raise minimum wage, all that you have to do and all that you must do is raise the price of everything else. So when minimum wage raises, so will everything else. The states have to upkeep a tax quota. So if they're not getting enough taxes back, because wealthy people always know the game and how to allocate taxes. They already know how to move monies around. Then guess who's going to get the butt of the joke? The poor people. Because if states have a tax quota and it's not met, then they're going to have to raise taxes in other venues that implicate or impact people of the lower income community. Corporate taxes go up. That's okay. Because if corporate taxes go up, then the owners of those businesses, all they have to do is mark up their prices so they can recoup the monies that's being used for taxes. So, hey, if I own a clothing business and you taxing me more, I'm just going to raise the price of clothes. If I sell food and you taxing me heavy, I'm just going to raise the price of the food. I got the right to because taxes went up. And who does this impact the most? Does this impact the wealthy man or the woman? Or does this impact the less fortunate, lower income brother or sister? You see, we negotiate against ourselves out of emotion quite often. We have a tendency to negotiate against ourselves out of emotion. So you got to understand the different types of incomes that exist and which ones don't include taxes at all or at very minimum. So you have the normal income, the one that they tell you to go to school for, right? The normal income is, go to school, get a job, and, get your retirement plan on. They don't tell you about a QRP, a qualified retirement plan, which is a cash and tax deferrable compensation arrangement plan where you can behave as a trustee of your own future, of your own funds, of your own pension. You can roll over contributions. That is to say that you could transfer funds from one account to the next without penalty. And you're not limited to only distributions, only using it like probably for medical or most likely real estate, right? No, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. This is how crazy this thing gets. This is how crazy this thing gets. So listen to me carefully. Go to brotherpolight.com for the courses on how to make you some money. Okay, that's gold in the crisis for the stocks. Because the stocks is going to be nuts since he's now in office. We got to, because it's earnings season as well. We're still in earnings season for the most part, but the tech companies' earnings are coming out. And this is where you guys can win. I'll see you in class Sunday and next Sunday for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That's the theme of the Sunday classes to come. Who wants to be a millionaire? It's not a rhetorical question either. But we'll go back to what I'm talking about because this is extremely important. So you have the mundane income, the income of the laity. That gets taxed the most. You have your portfolio income. That's the, I'm investing in stocks and bonds and ETFs, right? That gets taxed, but you could write off your losses. There's a certain amount that you could write off. You can't write off every single loss, but they give you a good $3,000, around that you could write off. And there's other tricks of the trade. So you got your standardized income that everybody has. That's the one that gets taxed all the time. That's poor people's income. That's the uneducated people's income. The people who just get a job, right? Go to school. They set up your pension plan for you. You don't even do no thinking about it whatsoever. Yeah, that's the part. That's the time when you get taxed the most. That's most people. Then you got on the next tier, your portfolio income. Then after the portfolio income, what do you have? This is extremely important. You have what? Passive income. You have passive income. How about that? What does this have to do with anything? Well, passive income is the one where you don't get taxed that much because you help build the infrastructure. Like when I teach you guys about tax liens and tax deeds and the UCC and real estate course that takes place Saturdays, the UCC and real estate course. When you pay for people's past due delinquent property taxes, that gets allocated in millages that funds school programs, lights, books, pays for the teachers, also pays for the firemen, pays for the policemen, pays for legal aids, pays for the nurses and the doctors, keeps the hospital lights on and so forth and so on, keeps the roads and the highways smooth. This is a fact. And so property taxes help build the infrastructure. So guess what? You're not going to get taxed for those things, or you're not going to get taxed too heavy. So it's not a matter of, tax the richer people, because as haters, because other people are making more money than us, we go, he's coming in, he's going to tax the people who have more money. What we need to be taxed for, unbeknown to you, it's going to fall on you guys because of inflation. Because every time they come up with these stimulus checks, they're using the principle of printing more money to solve the problem. And that money that they're printing contradicts productivity. So supply and demand, right? So when supply contradicts demand, that's called inflation. And when it happens several times over, that's called hyperinflation. And if the hyperinflation persists, then you have deflation. Okay? And that's on account to a recession, which in turn gives rise to a depression. It's all facts. If you print a bunch of money, you have to raise the price of everything else so it doesn't look like the money was printed for no reason. So the price of living is going to become more difficult. If you overtax wealthy people that know how to just mark up the prices on their goods, it's going to be harder for poor people to thrive. If you raise the minimum wage while employing hyperinflation and printing as much money as you choose to keep bailing you out, then when you raise minimum wage, Like, you're talking about raising the minimum wage at Starbucks. So if you raise the minimum wage, then guess what? Then they got to mark up their prices on their goods because they have to pay their employees more money by force. So if you force people to pay their employees more money, all they got to do is mark up their goods. The goods are already being marked up because too much money is being printed. And the more money you print, the more you have to raise the prices of other things and give lesser the quantity of those things so it can balance out. That's where food inflation comes in, where you start paying more money for lesser than what you are accustomed to paying for. Okay? So these things are extremely important, people. It's extremely important. And the reason why it's extremely important is because we got a responsibility onto our children, our significant others, as family men and women, to not get caught up in the hype. They bringing this guy in here. Let's not even talk about the 100 million vaccines in 100 days. Let's not even discuss this. I hope all the people that voted for him are the first people in line so we can see what happens. But let's not even talk about that. Let's not even get into that conversation because people ain't ready for that conversation. You feel what I'm saying? I want you to take a look at this. Take a look at this. And again, I'm proving. I'm going to show you guys something real quick. Okay? Look at this. From my classes, he made $12,000. Okay? $12,000. And I always make sure you see the names of these people. You can look them up. Walk with me. $814. You always see the name of these people. Cryptocurrency class. That's the Forex trading cryptocurrency class. This is Gold in the Crisis class. $3,210. And of course, everybody's commissioned to go into my real estate class when they're making money from these classes, or they do them both at the same time. Here we go again. $3,760. You always see the name of the people that's doing the investing. You always. I don't play games like that. So you can look these people up. Another $500. Made by the brother right there. That's cryptocurrency again. Look at this right here. $861. In school, they said 100% was the highest. You heard? He talking that talk, that be talking. He made 105% his money. Okay, keep walking with me. $655. Okay, Big Stu. 2W, 72. This Gold in the Crisis energy right here. But look at everything. $1,933. That's just what he made for the day. The $655 is what he made for the day. You heard? I need y'all to really walk with me. Walk with me when I'm talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me nice. Hold on. I don't know if we took everything there. $482 was made. Okay, hold on. We getting there. We getting to some more. $861, $655. Okay, that's what we got for today. That's what we got so far. There's more too. You go on Facebook, you'll see. I got more up there. Anybody that's in the class already knows. Gold in the Crisis for your stocks. Build your knowledge up on that because you're going to be able to leverage the information you learn from that to go into the Forex trading and cryptocurrency course. No matter which one of those courses you do first, which the preference, I always say Gold in the Crisis first, you always do the real estate class next to it, UCC in real estate. Because when you start making money off of the stocks class, or you start making money off of the Forex trading and cryptocurrency course, I always suggest that you allocate the monies into real estate. Let's go back to passive income when we was talking about passive income. Investing in real estate, such as tax liens, it's a form of passive income. You're helping build the infrastructure of society. So they're not going to tax you like that or tax you at all because you're helping them make society look good, making the infrastructure look good. You're helping them make the world go round by making sure school teachers get paid and fire department personnel gets paid and medical personnel gets paid and roads and highways are smooth. So whenever people pay property taxes, that's what happens. So if you pay for people's past due delinquent property taxes, then, yo, we don't need to charge you no taxes. You're good. So passive income, investing in oil and gas, productivity, investing in these things, putting money in those places. Why is this conversation important? Because you wouldn't even have to worry about the tax thing if you knew where to put your money. But the way that they taught us how to save, if save is synonymous with making more money, if saving isn't synonymous with making more money, then you don't know how to save. And this is why I said saving is overrated unless we change its meaning. Saving is overrated. Make sure you share this video. Saving money is overrated. You see seeds, right? And this is something I always say to my students. What is the glory in having a bunch of seeds if you never put them in position to grow? So money is just like seeds. Money is just like seeds. You put seeds in the ground, and guess what happens? The presumption is that it'll grow, granted the right circumstances, right? And so you put money in the bank, the presumption is it will not grow. So the bank isn't the soil that you want to put those seeds in. In this analogy, the money is the seeds. There's no glory in saving money. And I know what you've been taught. Yo, you got to save money. You got to have paper stacks to show off the money. I know what you've been told. But the money has to go somewhere where it can grow. Just like seeds have to be placed where they can grow. And the circumstances don't suffice or don't permit the ability for your money to grow. If you want to see something germinate, you need the water, you need sun, you need fertile soil, right? The bank isn't a fertile place. So no germination is going to take place. Nothing's going to sprout. Okay? It's not at least 32 degrees Fahrenheit, to store the seeds. So you're just storing seeds. So just storing seeds. That the glory of seeds is the fact that they will sprout one day or they will grow. So the glory of money is the fact that it may grow. So you have to strategically put that money somewhere where it becomes more than it was from the last time you placed it. And so if you put your money in places where they have the right to strip you of it in the form of taxes, if you put it in places that if you just left it there, for some reason, it will remain the same, be borrowed with or without your permission, be subject to fees if you don't use your debit card 10, 15 times in a month, overdraft fees, don't leave enough money into the account, we'll charge you like someone's straining their muscles to hold your money for the month, then that's not where you need to store your money. So there's no glory in just holding money until you have to spend it. The concept is put the money somewhere where it grows in time. So you have to look at money like seeds. Hope this is making sense to my good brothers and sisters. You have to look at money like seeds. We have to change the way we see things in order to be effective. So if you look at money like seeds, you say, man, if I put this in the bank, will this grow into a flower? Grow into a flower? Will it blossom? Will it become anything other than what I put it in as? Or will it be the same thing, if not less? And if that be the case, you don't know how to properly save. So the conundrum we find ourselves in is that we believe that all investments are all extremely risky. I will not tell you something's 100%, but I would tell you the way I teach is called common sense, current events, and calculation. That's what we use. So there are things you could put your money in that will inevitably and undoubtedly make you more money over time. So if you're truly saving, meaning if you truly have money that you don't intend to touch, then don't merely put money somewhere where you don't intend to touch, because eventually you're going to touch it. Put your money somewhere that you don't intend to touch, that when you go back to it, it'll be more than what it was prior. That's how you save. Saving has to be conducted under the pretense that when you revisit those funds, that it is more than what it was previously. That's saving. Otherwise, you're just asking people permission to hold your money because you're too fucking incompetent to keep it in your house. I mean, yeah, I want to use the card. But shit, I could go to 7-Eleven or something and put some money on the card and call it a day. Here's another thing. You're using your debit card too much and not your credit card. People got credit cards. Don't use their credit cards. Use their debit cards. And they think they'll only use their credit cards in case it's an emergency. This is why we're failing. There's a thing called credit utilization ratio. If I get a credit card for $5,000, my goal is to use more than $5,000 every month. But when it's time for reporting, to make sure the reporting is at 0, or at least under 36.6%. And if I go over 36.6%, but I'd rather tell people 30%, Then I want to have a balance transfer option on that card so I can allocate the excess funds that went over 30% into a second card where I don't go over the 30% utilization of the second card and I remain under the 30% utilization of the first card. Just doing that will boost my credit score. So this means I can strategically use my balance transfer options during certain months because I will be recognized for making conscientious decisions as a consumer. You see, if they give you a $5,000 balance, I would suggest you don't use more than $1,500 out of it, 30%, but you got the right to use a little more than that at 36.6%. Fine. And so you don't want to, because this is where it sounds contradictory, you don't want to owe more than $1,500 by the time they start doing reporting. So you got to call your credit card company. It's normally 2 days prior to when your bills due, but fine. You want to call your credit card company and ask them, yo, when do you do reporting? When do you dry snitch and say how much money I owe? And so what you want to do is make sure you never owe money during that time. And right after that time, owe money again. And so if they give you the privilege of $5,000 on credit, your goal is to see if possible, if it's even possible, if you can use more than $5,000. But just make sure when it's time to do reporting, you owe them less than $1,500. And so they'll look at the credit utilization ratio and they'll say, damn, this motherfucker here is spending $10,000 a month, but never owes more than $1,500. And for that, your credit score will go up. That's how you loan yourself credibility. Real talk. So you got to find out what day they dry snitch. And don't spend on that card within 48 to 72 hours of the dry snitching period. It's real talk. And if you must, that's why you have a second card right there, laying in wait. So you could, and you set up, make sure you don't have two dry snitching periods at the same time. So you can set up your dry snitching period for one card, because you could tell them when you want your dry snitching to take place. You can actually tell them you want your reporting to take place on the 5th for this card, but you want your snitching to take place on the 15th on this card. So that way, if you must use a credit card, you can alternate so you can leave one cold and don't have to touch it. Don't worry. In February, we got the credit restoration course coming like it's never been done before. Step by step. It's going to be ridiculous because the goal is to make sure you know how to access liquid, how to turn that into money, how to get hard assets. My goal is to make sure you know how to access $100,000 using credit. Because if you know how to access $100,000 and you've been studying the other courses, that's always the presumption that you got a real estate course, that you got the stocks course, that you got the cryptocurrency course, then you shouldn't have no problem ever going back, where it's going backwards into past, going backwards into past. You should have no problem. You should never be in a position where you have to say, damn, I done messed up this money again, because this time you have the knowledge. That's how my courses are designed. So I do them in a certain order based on the political polarization of global uncertainty, and I'm always right on the money. I got you guys right into the crypto course right on time for the explosions, because I told you those explosions would take place. Those of you that's in the 2021 survival plan, y'all saw the explosion take place. I did it right on time. Those of you that's in the Forex trading and cryptocurrency course, you've seen the explosions take place right on time. And there's still more to come. Peace to my brother. Word. Sean Walker, thanks. Word. You just go to brotherpolight.com, get into those classes and study while everybody's partying ignorantly, while people are celebrating, I suppose, poverty. I don't know what they're celebrating. Their ignorance. I don't know. You should be studying because you know better. Because if you do what you need to do, starting now, 6 months to a year from now, you'll be like this. You'll be free from burden in ways you've never been witnessed before. You take that credit restoration course because, hey, you know, you low on money. So, okay, bet. Let me show you how to get access to larger lines of credit. And let me get you the access to credit cards that allow you to pull out cash out the account. Let me just show you the game. The course always pays for itself. You say that's credit though, but you got to pay it back. But I'm just saying this. If you got access to $50,000 or $100,000 and you knew what to invest in, like really knew what to invest in, not no BS, not no rolling the dice, you'd be good money. So that's another part of the game. It's another part of the game. So yeah, we are coming with the credit course for next month. And it's going to be more intense than you ever seen before. But I got to make sure we clean up nice with this forex trading and this cryptocurrency. And anybody that's in the courses, y'all know what it is. The name of my game is, hey, if I get you access to a certain amount of money and I give you access to the right type of information, you know, all that black power, put your boots on their neck. You know, I'm with being pro-black. I just don't have the same interpretation. You know, I'm not the guy that's going to sit here and watch a bunch of lectures and redundancy. I'm not going to sit here and hear this one regurgitate what another teacher said, regurgitate what another teacher said. I'm not going to do that. And I'm not one to wait till the wave comes in. So people seeing the explosions take place in cryptocurrency tell you to get into the wave. And this is why a lot of people are going to lose their money, because the people that's leading them also just got involved. They haven't been teaching it the whole time like I have. So you was already in position. So if someone's just now putting you on, their feet are not wet. They haven't lamented their claims or their legacy yet. So they're looking at the thing that's exploding, and you should be looking at percentages, not the dollars. So Bitcoin looks great because by the dollars, man, it's in the 30,000s. In December, Bitcoin was 16,000. Right now it's 32,000. The win is high as 41, 42. But I don't look at that. I look at the percentages and I say, yo, Ethereum was at 8,000%. It went up 8,000%. So Bitcoin went up 3,000%. So my focal point isn't how much dollars I see. My focal point is how much percentages I see. Oh, Stellar Lumen was at 14 cents. Went up to 31 cents. Because then what that tells me is that I would have doubled any amount of money that I would have put up in between that time inside of a month. So if I'm looking at almost 100% gain, and all I have to do to tap in is put 16 cents up, then I know the value of what $100 does. And I know of the value of what $1,000 is for the long game or for a quick flip. So I can play the game and say, yo, I just want to flip $3,000 real quick. And I can play the long game and say, I'm going to leave this 5,000 here because I'm expecting Stellar Lumen to go well beyond 16 cents. So we want to look at the percentages. We don't want to look at the dollars. So when you're dealing with people that's just looking for a new hustle, and I'm going to tell you when you know someone's doing a new hustle, when they have to invite someone additional to their platform because they care about you. And I get it, you know, get someone that's more advanced. But traditionally, the person that's inviting the other person is because they don't know themselves that information, but they're leveraging their following for what they have. And they're getting the new person in there because that person doesn't have the following, but that person has convinced them that they know. So give me your following and then let's put it together. So I see it all the time. And if you go on the internet, you watch these people, you know when someone's doing their thing, and then when you see the new guy come in, oh, I see what's going on. You don't really know this. You got this person to come in because they don't have a following. And then my question is always, if this person doesn't have a following, the new guy, then why do you trust them? Because I get it, charisma and everything is important, right? But at the same rate, I would like to know you're popular because you're successful at what you do. Does that make sense? I walk these streets anywhere. Yo, P, yo, I'm waiting for my wallet, my Ledger wallet. I'm waiting for, yo, listen. Yo, thank you, brother. I made 2,000. Oh, you like these receipts that I show you is real people. And that's another thing. Where the hell are all the receipts? But hey, in the 2021 survival plan, I turn around and show you the new way that will be ushered in to make money off of real estate. Not only new, like it hasn't started yet, but it has started already. And I put you on. This is how you do it. My freaking goodness, man, the people are playing. But you see, when I do the credit course, then I'm going to show you, okay, because you can use the credit cards for that paradigm. Get you the credit cards, invest in the real estate, get you some equity and flip the equity in properties you don't even own. Fractionally invest in the equity of properties you don't even own. Fractionally. You don't have to buy the whole house no more. But you still can walk away with a little 3, 5 stacks, 5, 10, 12, 15 stacks. It's a new world. And I show you how to use cryptocurrency to invest in real estate fractionally. I'm somewhere different. Because we have to make money sport. And what do I mean by making money sport? When you boxing, you need a trainer. When you playing basketball, you need a coach. When it comes to making this money, they just got us out there. No one tells us nothing. They just got us out there. When it comes to making money, they got us out there. That's crazy to me. So yeah, I want you guys to get ready for that credit course. It's going to be crazy. It's not going to be like nothing I did prior, because I took what I'm doing to another level. But the goal is to make sure you guys get in or around 6 figures from what I teach. Because my understanding, not belief, is if you have up 100 stacks under my teachings, you was born to be an idiot 3 times over. You feel me? There's no reason for you to have to look back and be like, damn, I'm back in this situation again. You got a gambling problem, you're tricking, you're in the strip club too much, something's going on. You're making it rain with the real estate money. Something's going wrong, horribly wrong. So there's no reason for that, because these courses are designed to bleed into the other one neatly. You make money off of crypto. You make money off of gold in a crisis. You invest some of that into real estate. You go into crypto. You make your money off of crypto. You start investing in real estate, cryptocurrency endeavors. Boom. You get into the credit course. You can now seriously fund your new real estate endeavors, crypto real estate endeavors, and unconventional tax lien, tax deed endeavors. I'm timing it out for when I initiate the purchase and the tax liens for when the credit course comes for next month. I'm timing it out for those people that's in the UCC course. So I'm stalling out with some powerful information. I'm stalling with powerful information. Blood all over the floor. Y'all already know. This is the time to study, people. Don't play around. Don't be over here struggling. People struggling for no reason. Out here struggling for no reason. Then you want to cry and complain, bitch, moan and groan when you see me driving my nice car, taking my woman shopping and flying in and out of other countries at random. You want to tell me, oh, if I had that money, I'd do this. You need to do this. People are poor. People are dying. Make the money and show me what you would do. You feel me? Because in my world, I never complain about what a person doesn't do with their money. In my world, I'm doing what most of my brothers and sisters never do, which is show you how to make it. And I'm going to tell you this. Not everybody's privy to be able to show you how to make it, even if they wanted to. Because let's say I'm a basketball player and that's how I make the bulk of my money, right? What the hell am I going to do? Show you some damn tutorials to become one in millions of people that actually become a professional basketball player? So the way everybody makes their money, they're not privy to even show you exactly how they made their money and to be successful with it. I'm able to show you, oh, no, you learn this, you'll make this money. Because watch this. Out of 327 million people that make up the American populace itself, 14% of which they say is our people, only 5% amongst the whole, less than 0.5%, which makes up us, earn at least $150,000 a year. And like I told you, Biden proposed a plan, or is executing the plan, to tax those people in that 5%, the 5% category of the people who have the ability to amass wealth. And the people who have less money are like, yes, celebrating. But what you don't understand is when rich people get taxed, the implication is on the poor people. Because if a rich man's business gets taxed, he just marks things up. If you force the rich man to hike up minimum wage, and like Biden said, we're going to take minimum wage and make it $15, and everybody's like, yes. But if a motherfucker is in McDonald's or Starbucks or any other place and minimum wage gets raised to $15, and guess what's going to happen? Your 99-cent burger is going to be 99.50 cents. Like, things have to go up along with it, because rich people ain't holding no L for no poor people. As far as they're concerned, they work too hard to get where they got to go. So you think rich people are going to be like, yo, let me just pay these taxes so the poor people can eat? No. You're going to feel it. It's a game. It's an illusion. It's all an illusion. So wealthy people ain't really sitting here crying and complaining. They like, oh, okay, son is catering and pandering to the self-entitled, low-income, poor people. But this really is a goal to get rid of the middle class. The low class don't even exist. This is really a goal to get rid of the middle class. That's all this is. And so it's political, but it's not realistic. It's not realistic. And then, like I told you, anyone with knowledge, right, truly wealthy, well, wealthy is the ability to be wealthy is the ability to transfer your assets and your earnings from one generation to the next without compromising this time for your own self. So what you got to understand is, with the 3 different types of incomes, one of them doesn't impede on your ability to keep your funds, because the taxation is null and void or little to none. So for one income, you got, what did we talk about initially? You have the conventional income, which is the one they tell you to go to school, get a job, and they set you up a 401k and all that other stuff. So that's your conventional income. Then you got your portfolio income. Your portfolio income is when you're doing investments like stocks, bonds, ETFs, options trading, all of that. And then you got your passive income, which, for example, is tax liens and tax deeds, investing in people's past due delinquent property taxes. Who are they not going to tax? Well, obviously you're going to tax me, the person paying for other people's taxes. Think about that. So wealthy people know, first of all, if you're wealthy, you don't have a job, right? Because you're an entrepreneur. If you're wealthy, you don't pay taxes for the things that poor people pay taxes for. Because what is income tax to a person that runs the business? See, it's a whole different conversation. If I don't have a job, and I don't have a job. If I don't have a job, I don't pay taxes like the person who was told go to school to get a job. The person who went to school and got a job, the second you have a job, you pay taxes. I don't have a job. I work for myself. So that's one set of taxes out my hair. Now, the income that you get has to be taxed. But what if you're investing in things that gives you a passive income? What is the passive income? These are things that help build the infrastructure of society. If I invest in tax liens, and I invest in tax deeds, I'm investing in something where the money gets allocated towards school books. If I pay for people's past due delinquent property taxes for a profit, property taxes are allocated into millages that are used for school books and school lunch, pay for school teachers, pay for the roads and the highways to become smooth, pay for street lights so it don't be looking dark out there, pay for legal aids, pay for doctors, pay for nurses, pay for the hospitals to get drugs, pays for firemen, pays for the police. That's what property taxes get used for. So guess what? The government is not taxing me if I'm putting my money into property taxes. So when you put your money into real estate, the taxes aren't the same. They're minimum to none. So wealthy people are doing what? The number one things that they do is put money into real estate and insurance. Because insurance is a product that you can make money off of. So they put their monies into insurance and they put their monies into real estate. So they're not exactly sitting here bitching about Biden with his taxes stuff. Yeah, some shit just sounds crazy. And then you be a little creative. But ultimately, everyone knows that wealthy people are more strategic. They have more knowledge than the poor people. That's the thing that makes the poor people poor anyway. Poor mentality, right? A lack of knowledge. It's just a disconnect. So what you have to understand is, if you know that wealthy people aren't accidentally wealthy, then you know that the raising of taxes is going to implicate poor people, not the wealthy people that they raise them on. Because a person who runs a business is just going to mark up the prices to compensate for the raise in taxes, and they're still going to take more money off the top. If you force me to raise minimum wage, if you force me to accept the raising of minimum wage, you're also forcing me to raise the price of my products. Who is that going to impact? The consumers. I'm the producer. If you keep printing more money, Biden said, hey, you know, I'm going to make a $2,000 stimulus check. That's one of my first things I'm doing. And I'm going to raise minimum wage. And I'm going to tax all the wealthy people. All of that is an attack against poor people. It just sounds nice. That's an attack against poor people. Because if you pull another $2,000 check out of everybody's asses, you're printing more money, and the only thing you could do to compensate for printing more money is to raise the prices of everything else. And if you raise minimum wage, you're forcing the hand of producers to raise the price of their products. That's everything else again. You see how this thing works? And if you raise corporate tax, you're enforcing the paradigm where wealthy people raise the price in products or raise their taxes. So whatever the tax claims that they made on every item, they'll just raise it because they're not going to pay for that shit. But who keeps being impacted negatively? The poor people who finally got a break, who now got higher minimum wage, but don't even realize everything else costs more money now. But yes, he's going to tax the rich people because they got more money than me. And that's so exciting. It sounds so good. You're hating on people that got more money than you. You're not even thinking or rationalizing, how could that work? Otherwise, wealthy people will shut it down because a group of wealthy people are more powerful than a group of poor people when it comes to finances. So if wealthy people were really in dire straits and at risk for Biden coming in, you would have seen him shut down a long time ago. Because I'm not going to have a bunch of millionaires here versus a bunch of people who barely can make $32,000 a year as an individual here. That group versus this group having an argument about the way this country should be ran and finances and fiscal policies. No, that would never work. So you've been bamboozled. You've been hoodwinked. They played you. And they set you up for failure. And this is the death of the middle class. And they take in a woman who came out of working for the Federal Reserve, and he says he's appointing her to the Treasury. You guys don't even understand what kind of conflict of interest that is, because the Federal Reserve, that money, Federal Reserve notes, they're not even part of America. And the Treasury's job is just to keep the receipt for the debt. So how are the people that we owe also going to be writing up these receipts? Like, yo, listen, it's ugly out here. It's ugly out here. As I told you before, don't think that 2021 becomes better because 2020 is over. It's ugly out here. You got to stick to my motto: common sense, current events, and calculation. And you got to know you're too smart to be broke, and it costs way too much to be poor. Because all the advances are given to wealthy people, not poor people. All the concessions are being made to wealthy people because they make the world go round. So as I told you, you want to change the way you even invest and change the way you save money. You want to invest in things that are products of productivity. You want to invest in things like oil, invest in things like gas, invest in things like real estate and insurance, because that's a tax shelter. So if you're putting your money into those things, you ain't got to worry about taxes like that. But for the people that go to school to get a job and they have a pension plan, oh, your pension's taxed. And if you want money out of it, oh, they're going to beat you in the head if you want your money out of it. They ain't going to teach you about QRPs, qualified retirement plans, cash and tax deferrable compensation arrangement plans. They're going to tell you about the 401k, Roth, IRAs. This is all they're going to do, tell you about traditional retirement accounts. That's what they do. So you're going to play games and do it the way they say to do it. But we're not in an era, unless you're going to be a brain surgeon, an astrophysicist, get degrees and credentials in neurology, like unless you're doing something on that caliber, if your goal is simply to make some money, get the F out of school. And don't go in there until you could afford to pay for yourself to go in there. And when you go in there, make sure you can be a resource to yourself and your community. Don't go in there for no damn business administration and Photoshop. And all you gotta do, just do the research on the type of degrees people get and never land the jobs that correspond with them. And stay the hell away from that. If your goal is to make money, because this is the problem. I love knowledge. Our ambition should be to go to school to get knowledge. And hopefully we can find a career out of the knowledge that we love. But we're normally sold on the idea to go to school to make money. And if that's the case, we're failing. Because we're not going to really make no money to go to school. You're going to be in debt when you come out of school to the school. And then the school's that degree is supposed to be helping you pay your way into getting a job so you can use the job to pay back your school. And then you're struggling for most of the years of your life. Damn teachers and doctors are still paying for their student loans. It's sad. It's sad. You feel me? It's sad. So this is why we have these programs here. Look at this. Boom. Playing with the fib retracement. This is something I teach in the Golden Crisis class. Brother made $320. You know, I always leave their names here for you can see, so you can see who it is. Boom. We also making money in pounds, not just dollars. Shout out to my brothers and sisters that's in the UK that's in class. We getting crypto money in dollars and in pounds. Walk with me. You know, I always leave the name there so you can see these people's names and pull up on them. $482 made. We don't play these games. We making our money in crypto. We making it in stocks. Look at this guy. $12,000 made. $12,000. Look at that. Made in a week. 12 G's in a week. Come on. Talk to me nice. This is his name. You see his name right there. I don't play games. Who's doing it like me? Cheat him. Look at that. Underscore. $814 made from cryptocurrency. Forex trade and cryptocurrency class. Talk to me nice. Look at this. Golden Crisis. We back at it. $3,210 made. Nothing better to do. He ain't got nothing better to do to make this bread. Look at that. $3,210. But look what he made for today's return. It says today's return was $2,570. He just made a total of $3,210. BrotherPolight.com. Come on, people. $3,760. Always show you the name. I always show you the name. Come on. What's that? Look at that. $3,760. But for today's return, he made $1,866.60. This is what my students are doing. It says today's return. Contract killers, shares, we doing everything. That's Golden Crisis energy right there. Look at this. We back at Forex trading cryptocurrency at $504. Another $500 made. Hold on, let me get this thing clear. Talk to me nice. This dude going nuts since he bought the cryptocurrency class. Here's another one. $861 made. In school, they said 100% was the highest. Brother Polight, boss up. They certainly gave us that information, but my man made over 100% profits. We doing something where we got to configure what an over 100% means. I ain't playing these games, man. But you see, if it was something scandalous, people would spread it. That's why I said share this video. Because when it's scandal and it's rumors, we all about spreading that and giving people the disease of gossip. Make you nervous, make you paranoid. Then when it's time to learn from someone, you got to be skeptical. You start thinking everybody that's black when they got something to do with money is going to be wicked. Something you're going to have a negative encounter. But look, this guy made $655. That's for today's return. But look at the total return. It's $1,933. I just put you at $655 made because that's what he did for the day. But if you look at today's return at $655, you got to go down to total return to see $1,933. Come on now. People playing games out here. You playing games and get that holistic health. Get the holistic mathematics class. Come on, man. We ain't playing out here. I'm out here going in, hard in the paint. Doing it all. Doing it all, goddammit. Doing it all. Getting trained by Olympic trainers. This is really my daughter's trainers, but I wanted in because I see my daughter's game, so I said I got to get in there. I got to get in there. But yeah, we out here working super hard, man. Got that bag. I started investing in food and herbs because I want to enjoy the money. What good is all this money if you're going to be sick in the process? You heard? You heard? What good is the money if you can't be in an optimal state of health? Then what good is the money? So that's why I got the holistic mathematics class in hopes that when people start seeing them gains, they start seeing some gains. And I got something special in store for the holistic mathematics course. I just be pacing myself. Man, you can start these joints with an extra $100 just to do what you got to do. It depends on what type of trading you want to do. If you day trading, if you swing trading, if you options trading. What are you trading? Are you trading baskets? Are you trading ETFs? You know what I'm saying? Are you just trading securities, commodities? You got to get into the course and figure it out. I give you a plethora of options. What I will tell you is a lot of my brothers and sisters fell in love with options trading. They ain't know nothing about it, but once I started getting them on the options trading, they love that. Yeah, you go to brotherpolight.com. Brotherpolight.com. Make sure you share the video, family, giving up this information. Share the video. Share it like our brothers and sisters, unfortunately, have shared rumors. Well, this is more than a rumor. This is not no folklore. This is not no fanaticism. Options, junkie, I hear that. Love options too. Because let's say the stock is kind of steep. Man, I just buy the option. That's time 100. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We gonna win. Don't be intimidated by the information too. Like, yo, I don't know nothing about the information, so I don't know if I can really do this. People do that all the time. I teach you from the ground up. By the time you notice, when you start speaking with other people, you'll realize how proficient you are. You won't even know until you start talking to people, or when they walk by and they see your screen and they see all the charts moving and the 20-day moving average and the Fibonacci sequence, the time zones, and they start looking at all those things and they go, what the heck? And to you, it's light. You like, I'm still studying. And they see your conditional orders. In the event this happens, then trade here. But if that doesn't happen, then skip over that and trade this. Like, yo, we become beasts at this joint, man. I love it. I love posting these receipts. Keep sending your receipts. Keep showing me what you're getting. Keep showing me that you're getting the job done. It makes me feel great because the times are not going to get any easier for our people, unfortunately. And it's only those that take heed and grab them a course or 2 or 3 and start studying and figuring this thing out before you get overwhelmed. Don't wait until you completely overwhelmed, damn near on the streets, can't pay your bills, depressed because you can't do more for your family than you would love to. Start studying now. Get into that 2021 survival plan, the Silver Tsunami course. Start studying now. Real talk. Well, I'm on that East Coast energy. About to be gone. I'd like to thank you, good brothers and sisters, for listening in. We had well over 1,000 people in today. It was a great conversation. And I'll see you in class Saturday, and I'll see you in class Sunday. See you tomorrow and the day after. We groovy, though. Nonetheless, we groovy. But get into that, because now we're opening up the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire course. I mean, it's inside of the Forex Trading Cryptocurrency course. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? It's not a rhetorical question either. So this Sunday, the following Sunday, and the Sunday after that, we're going hard in the paint. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And I guarantee you, the results that I show you is going to be nuts. I'll see you guys Saturday and Sunday. Thank you so much for listening. I love you all. Iluvu. Brotherpolight.com. Yeah, this is it. This is the wave. I mean, how many people is out here? How many people actually out here showing you receipts week after week after week, day after day after day, different names, some of the same names, showing you this ain't no fluke. Oh, this person made money the first time. But what I also got to do is diversify it. So I'll be looking through the names because I don't want people to say, well, it's only the same names. So I make sure I give them new names. But you can't give them only new names because then they'll say, oh, people hitting, but they might be missing. So I mix it up. Then every now and then I got to show you what I'm doing. Whether it's me at the bank just literally pulling some bread out or literally showing you my recordings of me purchasing and getting it in. But also, you know, we got the in the money text. So it's always on record what I'm sending out anyway. Yeah, brotherpolight.com. We got a community of people making money. I've seen every other type of community. The kill the white man community ain't killing nobody. The hate the white man community, definitely hating. The UFO community, the just conscious community in general, the people with the fezzes, the Moorish community. I see it all. Everybody talk, they talk. I ain't knocking them. I love the culture. I love the diversity. The arm, leg, arm, head community, the Yaku community, the black germ, brown germ, white germ community. The don't you wish your hair was as straight as the hair on top of your head community. I hear you, Farrakhan. I hear you. But where's the community where we're making the money? Like, who solved that riddle? Say, yo, I'm building a community where we study and we execute. We about making this bread. Where's that community at? And show me the results. See? I don't see that. But then people want to act like what I'm doing is just normal. This ain't normal. It could be normalized if people stop fronting. But they only want to talk when something sounds bad. I'm still waiting for all these people to repost the great that I'm doing. Because this has been going on for months. It's almost a year now straight with me going in hard in the paint. But I would like to remind people that have been teaching these things. Because if you go back 2, 3, 4 years ago, you go back so far you can see me when I'm talking to you about Bitcoin. When it was a few $100s. You go back when I was talking to you about gold when gold was 800 and change. And I was telling you set up a precious metals refinery account when gold was only 800 and change. And I was like, you need to buy that. Because that's how we save. I had money to save. I put it in gold. Because I knew it would grow eventually. And so I didn't babysit it. It went from 800 and change, to $1,800. Come on. But I've been teaching this. And those of you that's been walking with me for the longest, y'all can say, y'all remember when he was talking about gold and gold was 800. I remember he was talking about gold was 900. I remember he was talking about gold and it was 1100. And he showed me where to buy it to make sure we had a precious metals refinery account and to sit on it. Come on now. From Boston, I'm in Boston right now. Peace to you, Boston Rack. I'm out here. I'm in Boston right now. No doubt, man. We'll be coming with her classes soon. She wants to. We getting it in. brotherpolight.com. I'll talk to y'all later. Give me something to eat. It's getting late. If you're in holistic mathematics course, you already know what that's about. Circadian rhythm. Peace to y'all. Appreciate you. Aswidgador, Black Power. Hotep Wa Barakat. Peace and blessings. And finally, last but not least, Ilufu. Perpetual success. Remember to share this video, brotherpolight.com.
MoneyBoy. Trade. MoneyBoy. Trade. Private jet flights overseas.